Hey, my name is Aiden Newsome, and I'm a 3D artist and designer. And I just wanted to make this video as an extension of my last one on LandKit and just show you a few things that I've been working on over the past few weeks, both personally and at work. And yeah, if you have any questions about what I'm doing here, please ask in the comments below, just because some of the stuff I'm doing definitely requires some prior knowledge of various tools. And so I could either make a video explaining how to use those tools or that part of the tool, or I could direct you to go to the right place to watch a video or to read something that someone's already created. That's basically where I learned that knowledge. So anyways, the first thing I wanted to show you was, so I'm using LandKit 2 here, but I think most of the stuff you will be able to do in the first version, but the second version is definitely faster, and there's way more features that I'm not even demoing here at all, that I'll show in future videos. But yeah, anyways, one of the tools I created for a problem I was having is to create paths of different slopes very flexibly, but also like in plan to be able to draw, like, let's say this is my path here. I'm just gonna hide it, but here I've got a curve, and let's say I want that path to come over here more. Maybe I'll do insert. I think you do insert control point. Insert control point. Let's say I added a point here, and then I grab that point and I want to use it to drag it out this way. You'll see that red number changes. That red number represents the slope of that curve across, basically if I select it, so wherever it's yellow here, so from this point to this point, I'm grading this curve at 4.4% roughly. This red piece here, I guess what I could do to make it easier for you to visualize is I could take, what am I doing? Let's hide this. And if I preview, just if I go surface, I'll just show you this. So you can see there's our curve that's getting drawn. So in my little cluster here, this whole section of code is 2 clusters is basically the thing that I wrote to help me do this, that I could go into detail more. I mean, it's really crude, so I'm sure there's a better way of doing it, but essentially what's happening is, like let's say we want to, where's another move we can make, like bring this in a bit more. So I could do that and that, but like now it's over 5%, which technically is not compliant, I think. I don't know. And like maybe we want to do this. You can see I have this big flat piece here, so like let's say I wanted to add another flat piece of curve like right here, and make it look nice. So what I would do is I would just like go into my 4-foot paths layer, basically draw a curve. I think I'm just projecting right now. No, hopefully not, but so right now it's creating a separate surface. I'm just going to project it to C-plane. I'm going to use this curve to trim it here and here. And then click enter. And then I'm going to use this curve to trim this one off. And then you can see how everything works in 3D now. So essentially, that's probably not correct, but maybe it is. Oh yeah. So this curve starts here, but like let's say we want this flat part up kind of like maybe like a meter above where it is right now. See, now it's creating a separate surface, but this curve right now is completely flat. But if I just take that last point and type move and then just move it, not project it, but move it to there. Oh, what point did I just move? Oh, weird. So I'm just going to delete that. I think it just added a random extra point when I trimmed, but there we go. So if I move that up, so now from here to here it's graded at 2%, right? So it doesn't matter what the way it's drawn, in 3D, other than it cares about the first point and the last point. So wherever you're connecting to and from. And then I'm just like blending the kink out in Grasshopper. And then so if I want to connect here, I just move that up. and then this is going to blend from that point to wherever the other point is, which is up here. So basically that's at 10%, so obviously not good. So what I would do is like I could just quickly now actually select like all those points and move them up a meter. Oops, okay, I didn't get those ones, so let's move that up a meter. See, now that's 4.5, and then this one we need to adjust. So what I would do is I would go into insert a control point. Maybe I'll make a couple, and then I'll just like do this, right? And now that's technically compliant. So my script just like figures that all out, like does curves or slopes and then straightaways and all that stuff. Yeah, but that's just for the path. Then I've got this like these contours I've drawn in. These represent like my existing site. So I've put them in my existing land kit layer here. And if I go into my Grasshopper script now, and first what I do is I bake out to my areas, I bake out that path we just created. So if I go into my areas now, we have, let me just make sure that I delete those ones. So I bake it out, and then I have that path, but flat on the C plane, and then I collage the areas, so I make sure that it's above my grass, right? But yeah, then then I just go up here and I've created a gate so that the rest of the script isn't processed. But if I unclick this, it'll take a few seconds, but then my path and like all the contours I draw, it's gonna form into a topography. All right, so there we go. It's like magic, really. So yeah, if you wanted to add like additional contours in certain places, like I think this should work if I just go into contours here, and then like, so like let's say in this area we're gonna build something. Let's do in our contours, let's make them blue. So these are proposed contours. I'm gonna make like a blue thing here and do like that. Actually that one's useless, but let's delete that. Let's go like make it more cool. Let's do like a big whatever this is. So let's see what that looks like. And so we just want to look in elevation. Maybe we want to like set its C position to be like equal to this straightaway here. Okay, so it's gonna create like a cliff at this part, but then be like level up here. So it's like us adding a lot of soil to basically create like some weird cliff thing. But if I go up here now and I click refresh my Grasshopper script, I think this will work. Give it a second. Oh, no, nothing happened. Oh, maybe it's still loading. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is a bug, but I think that when I'm using LandKit and I'm adding into GeoSet my path, it's like eliminating anything in the GeoSet from before. So maybe someone on the team wants to check that out, if that is just me or that is a bug in the beta. So like the existing GeoSet for proposed should be taking in these contours, and then I should just be adding to the GeoSet my path that I've created below here. But yeah, it seems like it only takes the path. Like as soon as I use this other geo and add to GeoSet, it like clears everything before it, which it should just be adding, I think. So like, for example, if I remove this, I think this contour will be respected. Yeah. So anyways, that's a bug that I noticed. So the way that I'm getting around that bug right now is you could take that contour that we drew, and I think we just want to set it back to that Z, and then we could like we could put it on the existing layer and then do a refresh. So that'll do what we want it to do. This is crazy to be able to do this in Rhino. So definitely give this team props. Anyways, now I wanted to show you what I can do with this. So what I can do is use Datasmith to, well, first I can bake everything out to my baked layer. So if I go into baked, you can see it's old stuff right now. But if I go in my Grasshopper script and use the new bake and preview and click that button, we get all our new geometry. Another thing I noticed, LandKit team, if you're watching, is this used to like create areas that also, like all of the vertices on both the areas would line up. So you would never have any gaps. But I'm noticing that now it's not doing that, and it's like creating some gaps, which isn't a huge deal from what I'm doing, but just something I did notice. Anyways, so I baked everything out, and then if I hit synchronize in Datasmith, all that data, I guess, like all the meshes here are going to be captured. And then if I went into Unreal Engine, so like this was a scene I created in Unreal Engine to basically create a quick render. But let me just make sure it doesn't lag. So if Tmax PS, do that. If I come here and just change this to be something lower. So it's not gonna be the highest quality, but it'll be easier to navigate. So yeah, I'm just gonna hide this forest for a sec. So this is what I had in Rhino, like, I don't know, a couple sessions ago, but we just made some changes. We wanna sync them over. So if I go to my Datasmith scene, you can see it's not synced right now. So I'm just going to, I think, auto reimport, right? And I'll take a sec. But now what it's done is it's auto re-imported what we have in Rhino. So definitely more topography than before. But anyways, I've got our people here. We could basically set up a similar scene to what I had before and just re-render it out to do a comparison. So I'm using a procedural way of projecting like vegetation in Unreal. But yeah, this is just like adding trees. So the way I do it fast is I go in and I tag the mesh. I just call it grass. And then if I go to my tool and I think if I recompile it, yeah, so now if we go back to the window, everything's projected. And actually I think I need to tag the path as path. Could be something else. If I recompile, then yeah, if we go in now, like all the trees will move away from the path somewhat, so they don't land on the path. Anyways, then I'll go here and I'll just quickly add, I have like a material that I created. It's a world aligned texture, so it doesn't matter what the UVs are for grass, and then I created one for screenings. For the grass, if we wanted to, I think if I have foliage, I have instant foliage. Yeah, so it got removed. So if I just go to my foliage, search for grass, so make sure those two are selected, and I'll just do a fill across that huge mesh that we just imported. Pretty important here to be using nanite for your foliage if you don't want your computer, even a good one, to slow down. And then like if I want this to be more three-dimensional, I can turn it to a nanite mesh. And then I think if is this tessellation is enabled? Yeah, if we go in, you can see now it's tessellating and being displaced by my material. Then I've created this like backdrop here. Honestly, it's just from Twinmotion, and I just like brought it into Unreal. We can maybe make it a bit closer to the scene to give us like an idea of what the background is, and then I'm just gonna like take my people that were before they were somewhere else, but I'll have surface snapping enabled so that when I move them, they align to the surface below. So if we put the little boy kind of on this piece running across, oops, Just gotta make sure that I'm not moving them down. So we could do that, and then so now for lighting, so I would just go in quick and, so this is the render from before. I'm just gonna go into it and move my camera around, find a similar angle or a bit different one. Let's go here. And then what I would do is you could either adjust the lighting, or like in this scenario, we could just adjust the procedural foliage to give us maybe something more like what we want. Like, is that a bit better, right? And then we could go in here and we could rotate this background. Maybe that's better. Now I will go into my lighting and just play with it slightly. Yeah, let's go like that. And then I think I have a value here with this sun yaw that we could play with. So let's do that. So yeah, this is just for like a quick render, but yeah, this is based off all of that land kit geometry that just came in. I'm just gonna save everything and eject. So yeah, as you can see, there's our Rhino geometry that we can fully explore now. And this curve is literally like, we can tell someone exactly what slope this is. It's precisely where we want it. You can do this using landscape tools in Unreal, but trust me, you will not get this level of precision. So yeah, that was really fast to be able to do something like this. And then like, if we need to change things, like it's not a huge amount of work to go back and resync the datasmith file. Like, it's pretty amazing. So if we just go in here now, and I'll just render out this clip, or this image. I'm just gonna hit render. So I've just got some warm-up frames running, and while that's rendering, I can just show you again, like, this is, like, you can go in and, like, let's say, I'm not gonna sync this across, but for my areas, like, if I want mulch right now, so this isn't even the grasshopper preview, but like, say I want this like as a big mulch area, I literally am just gonna hit project and disable here. I'm just gonna like freely draw something, and then I gotta turn off disable, so that's good. And that's gonna now read as like mulch for my areas. So we're gonna have to do a refresh here. Well, actually, let's hide our baked. You can see there's our mulch area, and it's gonna follow the topography, right? And then like, let's say in the mulch area, we want some soil for planters. I'm just gonna go in and do this there. It's gonna take a sec to load because it's literally processing every part right now. Now you'll see nothing happen, and that's because in 3D, the collage area respects the elevation. So if we want this to be above the mulch, I gotta move it up above that curve. There we go. Now that's all in Unreal now too. Sorry, that's not all in Unreal yet, but if I wanted it to be, I would just click bake. All right, so now if I go to my baked, that's again something I've noticed. If bake's hidden and you click that bake button, LandKit team, it's not like overwriting the previous baked stuff. So anyways, I'm gonna keep baked not hidden and hit delete everything and hit bake again, right? And now now we have all this stuff. If I just hit synchronize, I think, yeah, see, so in Unreal, like it's already resynchronized. So that mesh, we have to do a couple things to it. We won't have to, we can retag it here. We could go tags, grass, and then we can find our path wherever that is. There's our path. We'll go tag path, right? Then I'm gonna just go into my materials here. I'll drag on my grass. Oh, so that isn't the grass, but grass. And the path is gonna be this, and then we have, that was like our mulch, I think. And then if we want our planters to be here, we do planters, right? And then if we want our foliage to be on, so that was also mulch, I believe. And then we just go into our foliage and make sure it's, we had those ones, the grass selected. We do that, it'll fill grass in, right? And there you go. All that's crazy. Those new areas are in like a matter of a few minutes. There's probably even better ways to sync it across, but that's not too bad in concept phase. And really, if like a lot of things changed, it's more like the site topography. I don't find if you're using procedural tools on top of it, it's not like too super time consuming to change things, even though you have to like reassign materials and stuff. But yeah, that was super fast. So then the other part of the workflow I wanted to show you was using an AI upscaler to do image enhancement. So if I just go here to Magnific and log in, I'm going to upload an image, the one we just rendered. I'm going to call it kit to updated render, and we'll just compare the two that we did. But yeah, I'll just click upload, and then for the prompt I'm going to say crushed gravel path, lake in the background of the park, and children playing or something. 2 times upscaling, add a little creativity to it, keep the resemblance pretty similar, and then I'm gonna use the Sharpie engine and say that this is optimized for film photography, because it basically looks like a photo that we just shot. I don't know, you can play with the settings, but I'll hit upscale, wait a few seconds here. Another thing that I'm gonna try in the future is you could use Kriya and have it upscale live in real time, your Unreal viewport, to do something similar to this. But Magnific's upscaler, in my opinion, is super good if you do have the money to spend on it. So yeah. So here we go. There's our image. It's not bad. What I've done in the past is like also exported a 4K version of the Unreal photo and then put both in Photoshop on separate layers, and then use a mask to remove and hide certain areas of the upscale images and blend it with the original to like fix AI faces that, you know, do weird things and stuff. And but anyways, I'll save this out. And we can just look at it nicely. So hide everything. There's one image. So I think this is a good way to look at things. Basically, I created the one on the left here, like not even 45 minutes ago, and the one on the right here just now through the video. Sorry, render updated. Oh, these are the same. So this one, and there's another one here. So yeah, So one has our new site changes in it. Not that this render really shows that, but yeah, then this one doesn't. And both of these images we develop super fast. So I think it's a pretty cool tool to start experimenting with it. I was happy to show my workflow here. And again, if you're more interested in going in depth into some of these tools, like within the Grasshopper script, within Unreal Engine, within these upscaling tools in Photoshop, just let me know. Thank you.